Hi everyone, my name is Danielle and I have been in the Twin Flames universe community here for a little bit of time now, and this is my first YouTube video ever. So I've never recorded myself. This is a brand new experience for me, so I appreciate your patience while holding space for me doing this on here. This video today is about astrology, and astrology for me has been very close to my heart for about 8 to 9 years now. I've been extremely passionate about it since I was 16, and it's something that I have resonated with ever since, I had my first natal chart reading. My approach these days is pretty practical and grounded. I really value the ability to ground in these, energies and things happening outside of Earth, right? In our solar system and beyond, and being able to actually translate that in a way that people understand. My passion is to bring astrology back down to Earth in a way that connects with consciousness, in a way that connects with, how and why we are created and experience a certain kind of reality. And just like the sun gives us life and vitality, we wouldn't be able to live without the sun's energy. It's the exact same experience that we have with different planets and asteroids and stars and stuff like that. And for me, I've been studying 8 to 9 years, and I still feel like there's just so much to learn. And that's one of the things that interests me about astrology the most, is the fact that it's endless. The study of it is endless. And that to me is the most interesting thing ever. So that's a little bit about me. I'm very much someone who likes to probe and go into the depths of things that are just not on the surface, and being able to bring them up to the surface to be revealed. And that's something about astrology that I really value. Again, I really value astrologers that have the capability of talking and expressing astrology in a way that explains consciousness itself. So yeah, this video is going to be an overview on March of 2019, and I'll get into that. There's a couple of themes I'm gonna stick with. Again, this is my first YouTube video, so because of that, I'm gonna keep the video a little shorter than probably what will be coming in the future, just so I can get my feet wet a little bit. So I studied tropical astrology for a really long time, up until quite recently, and sidereal astrology to me is starting to make more sense. So the first couple days of the month, we have a lot of Saturn energy going on. So we have the moon and Saturn in Sagittarius for the first day, so March 1st, today. And between the 2nd and the 4th, we have the moon moving into Capricorn, which is another heavy Saturn energy because Saturn rules Capricorn. So basically what this energy is suggesting is that we have an opportunity to, be more in our disciplined side, our hardworking side, and focusing on our work, focusing on our long-term goals and aspirations, as well as, long-term solutions, things like that. So we've got a lot of Saturn energy to start the month, and I feel like it's going to set us off into just a really good start to the month, because we have all this disciplinary energy and this long-term focus. So it's inspirational and it's good. It's also very grounded and realistic. On the 5th and the 6th, the moon joins the sun in Aquarius. So this encourages us to connect with our community more fully, as well as our social friend group and those we feel like we are family with, in the spirit of service as well, because Aquarius is about being of service. So that's an energy that we're dealing with for those couple days. So the 5th and the 6th is really going to have a quality of service to others. So we're going to be in that energy. It's an opportunity to just step into our hearts more in service to loving others more fully. And of course it starts with loving ourselves and allowing the love of God to flow through us to humanity and to those we are serving. Aquarius is really about that. So we have that energy being highlighted with the 5th and the 6th of March. So for the 7th, 8th, and 9th of March, the moon is going to be in the sign of Pisces, meeting up with this retrograde Mercury. The moon in Pisces is really about connecting with this metaphysical, unseen world. And it takes the form of these Piscean things like imagination, creativity, it can be romance as well. And then on a more dense side of things, it can be involved with escapism and not paying as close of attention as what might be needed to all of the details. So it's probably going to be easier to tune out a bit during these days, just because of that alignment there. So it can actually be a pretty good lesson in regards to grounding down more, but also on the same note, because of this Piscean energy, it's a very good time to meditate, very good time to go into your spiritual practice. On the 10th and 11th of March, the moon is going into Aries, which is a great time to initiate new things. It's a starting of new cycle. There can be a lot of enthusiasm that you can tap into, as well as a moving forward kind of energy as well. Though there could also be some upsets around impatience. The moon is also going to be conjuncting Mars on the 11th in Aries, so be careful for, just heightened aggression can happen that day within yourself, as well as reflected to you by others. So if there's heightened aggression that day, don't be alarmed, just mirror the upsets you'll be. For the 12th, 13th, and part of the 14th, the moon is going to be in the sign of Taurus. So the moon is actually very stable in the sign of Taurus. So this will assist your mind and heart to settle and stabilize for these days. The 14th through the 16th, we have the moon traveling through Gemini. And Gemini is a very inquisitive sign in its nature. It's an air sign. And with the moon traveling through Gemini, there will be a tendency to question our own belief systems and philosophies. It's a very easy energy to pull from during those couple days until the moon transits into Cancer. Very intuitive in nature, very connected with the heart. And so when the moon transits every month from Gemini into the sign of Cancer, the ideas and philosophies that we have questioned and come to a better understanding of will be grounded into the heart through compassion. And that's the moon in Cancer. The moon rules the sign of Cancer, so it's a particularly potent integration period. Not only is, the moon ruling Cancer, going through that sign on the 16th and 17th, but on the 16th the moon is meeting up with the North Node, also known as Rahu. So that may trigger an upheaval of emotion within yourself, and perhaps reflected externally with people that you normally interact with. So not only is the moon transiting through its home sign of Cancer on the 16th and 17th, the 16th is going to be an especially potent day, energetically speaking. The moon is going to cross over the North Node, also known as Rahu, and this could trigger heightened emotions that day and upheaval. The 16th and the 17th especially are important days of integration and reflection. And then we have Leo on the 18th and 19th. So the moon is going to be crossing over that constellation in the sky during those couple days. Leo is the sign of personal power and individuality, and it is also the sign of expressing our individuality. The sign of Leo also connects us with our own personal visions, and what happens with Leo if we are not in alignment is we can kind of not have a good sense of where we are going and what we are doing because it's tied to the will. So if we don't know who we are and where we're going to be disconnected from that Leo energy. So, yeah. However, when we are aligned with our Leo nature, we very much know who we are, and we are very much aligned with our life purpose. So these couple days when Leo is pretty prominent in the sky, I would recommend really connecting with your personal vision for yourself and your life purpose. And if there are any misalignments, it would be encouraged to, mirror that and do your necessary spiritual work to realign yourself with your truth and what your vision and your life purpose is for yourself. The transition into Virgo on the 20th and the 21st, there will be a process of using the power and the vision of Leo that we have integrated within ourselves and structuring it into a perfect divine-like structure, because Virgo is very structure-oriented earth sign and very detail-oriented. So it's basically organizing our vision, which is very fire-oriented, and basically creating the building blocks in which all of that is organized so we can proceed in a divinely organized fashion, or proceed in a divinely organized way. Virgo is very good at that. Contrary to popular belief, we actually have the full moon happening in the sign of Virgo on the 20th. So this energy of Virgo that we've been cultivating is going to be in contrast with the sun in Pisces. And Piscean energy is contrasty in nature to Virgo because they're opposite signs. Pisces is a very formless sign. It represents metaphysics. It represents the unseen world. It's a very boundless energy. Virgo is a very great contrast to, because Virgo is very structure-oriented, very detail-oriented, very grounded in the earth and the practical. And of course, full moons in general are just a great opportunity to release. So upheaval might be happening close to that time. Don't worry about it. Carry on and do the mirror exercise. Through the 22nd and the 24th, the moon will be traveling through Libra. Libra is an air sign. It rules relationships, whether it be one-on-one partnerships, business partnerships, marriage partnerships. So of course, during those couple days, that energy will be more easily accessed. Because Venus is also the ruler of Libra, there's this sense of seeking pleasure, seeking happiness, and also the tendency to wanting to please others. And we know because of the mirror exercise that all of this is found within us and within our own hearts and with God. And with Mercury being retrograde during this time period as well, it'll be a great time to reflect on our relationships. We'll also be evaluating our compromises as well as our values, because that's very Venus oriented as well. So if there are any relationships, any compromises that are not in alignment with your true values, this is a great opportunity to see them and to heal that. On the 25th and the 26th, the moon will be transiting through Scorpio. And Scorpio is a very intense water sign. The moon in the sign of Scorpio can actually manifest in volatile ways sometimes because of the intensity of the sign of Scorpio. With all the Scorpio energy, it can make it a little easier to experience fear or worry. So I would just recommend during these couple days keeping up on your mirror exercises, of course. We know that fear is not real and worry is just distrust in God. So this is a great opportunity to allow ourselves to trust God more fully and to release fears. Scorpio can also be dramatic sometimes. So if there is any drama internally that does come up or manifests outside of you, it would be a very good opportunity to ground that into your heart, to transmute it back to love and compassion. On the 26th, this is really highlighted because the moon is going to be conjuncting Jupiter. So it's going to be passing Jupiter in the sky. So it can really lead to a lot of emotional upheaval. On the 27th and the 28th, we're almost done with the month of March. The moon is going to be traveling through Sagittarius again, like we started the month. And the moon this time is going to be joining Saturn and the South Node, also known as K2 in the sky, during its transit through Sagittarius. So what this can bring up is a sense of feeling almost pressured a little bit. There's an internal pressure that might be triggered within you. Saturn is about hard work. It's about long-term goals. So you may be feeling a sense of pressure, especially with the South Node, to figure your life out and to figure out your life purpose. And there could be a heightened sense of self-criticism during this time as well. So just another opportunity to get some good spiritual practice in, mirror work, and self-love. Because it is the truth that our life and everything is unfolding perfectly and in God's divine timing and order. Instead of feeling those things, once you mirror and heal them, you can really tap into the true Sagittarian energy of being very optimistic, very inspired, very hopeful, very much just in this positive feeling space. The 29th through the 31st, we're ending the month with the moon in Capricorn. So it's more Saturn energy because Saturn rules the sign of Capricorn. So like how we began the month with this Saturn energy of really connecting in with our disciplined side, our hardworking side, in relation to our life purpose, that's also going to be ending the month on that note. And during this whole month, of course, Mercury has been in retrograde since the 5th and going direct on the 28th. So we have this whole month of reflection. This month, I would recommend solitude, introspection, reflection. This will most likely help you through the energy transits of this month. So connect with your life purpose this month. Connect with your heart. Connect with God. And of course, do your spiritual work and do your mirror exercises. No matter what, they are always relevant and always needed. So this concludes my first YouTube video ever. Thanks so much if you listened through to the whole thing. I really appreciate you, and I look forward to evolving over time and creating better and better content. And yeah, so thanks again, guys. I hope you have a great month.